Do you know? About 1 over 3 of male fish in British rivers are changing their gender because polluted water. 14 billion pounds of garbage, mostly plastic, is dumped into the ocean every year. During the Industrial Revolution, lots of factories manufactured huge production. That's one of the greatest discoveries in the human history. But on the other hand, it's like Pandora's box brings lots of evil to this world. While this was happening, it also made bad impacts on the environment. People who live in places with high pollution are easily to get lung cancer than people who live in places with less pollution. About 40% of the lakes in America cannot fishing or swimming because too polluted. Each year, 1.2 trillion gallons of untreated water and industrial waste are dumped into US water. While children make up 10% of the world's pollution, over 40% of the global diseases fall on them. More than 3 million children under 5 years old die from environmental factors. While factories were making products, toxic chemicals released a lot to the atmosphere. Too much smoke released to the air and made air pollution. Then this led to global warming. Global warming is when too much greenhouse gases released to the atmosphere. Greenhouse gases trap the heat from the sun and keep the earth warm. CO2 and methane are the major greenhouse gases, and factories made a lot of CO2. When the earth becomes warmer, then glaciers melt. When glaciers melt into water, then sea level rise. If there are no glaciers because of melting into water, then polar bear will be homeless. They cannot find a place that's comfortable for them to live. When sea level rise, animals and plants that live by the ocean will be submerged by the water. If sea level rise too much, then our cities might be underwater. There are a couple things that we can do to help to save our environment. First, we can plant more trees. Trees can absorb CO2. Therefore, there will be less smoke or CO2 released to the air. Another thing we can do is to use energy efficient light, LED. LED lasts 10 times longer than inefficient light. The last easy thing we can do is to turn off unneeded light. Using electricity release CO2, but if we turn off electricity and use less electricity, then less CO2 will release.